Hi, I'm Johnny from UltimatePaperMache.com, and I think I got my dragon done and painted. I know the pattern is all done. It is available now for a small charge at UltimatePaperMache.com/dragon pattern. And that page also has a lot of videos on how to put all the pieces together, how to make those scales. I think you might have already seen that video. And how to make different horns. These horns are made with the pattern that comes with the dragon, but I also show you how to make horns just out of aluminum foil in any shape you want. It's really, really super simple. I actually tried making pattern for a horn like this, and there were so many little pieces to cut out and tape together. I started thinking, why am I making you do that when this is so much easier? So I just showed you how to do it. And now I'm thinking for my next dragon, I'm going to go ahead and make the horns out of foil. I can show you how to do, but maybe spiral them and, like around a dowel or something and make horns like this. This is a spiral horned antelope. And obviously his horns are too long. If I made this guy's horns that long, then they wouldn't fit against the wall. So I'd have to make them shorter, obviously, but I think you could do some really cool things with it. I also, in my next try, I'm going to use more colorful colors. There are just so many different ways that you could paint a dragon that kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone, because I don't usually make up the colors of an animal. They just come the colors that they are, and that's what I paint them. But a dragon is made up, and you can paint them any color you want to. So even though I wanted to base the colors on real animals, just like I based all the different shapes on real animals, I decided on this time I was going to make it really easy for myself, and I used a photograph of a white iguana and made myself a white dragon with some gold accents and gold around all of his scales. Everything except for the horns actually looks color-wise like the iguana that I was looking at. And I can't show you the photograph that I used for the model because it was copyrighted, but I went out this morning and found another white iguana. He's a lot darker golds, which is really cool. I mean, I like my white dragon, so I'm going to leave that alone. But when I started looking at this white iguana, I was looking at those eyes. Are those amazing? With that ring of gold right around the pupil, and I think I might actually have to repaint the eyes on this guy. But other than the eyes, I'm going to leave this one alone. I do like the white dragon. I think he's pretty cool. I'm going to put him on my wall somewhere. I haven't quite decided where yet. But I was in kind of a hurry to paint him. I have to admit that. I wanted to get the pattern out so that you guys could make a dragon if you wanted to use it. And I was just kind of pushing myself a little bit. So I did choose the easiest way to paint a dragon that I could possibly think of. But the next time I think I'm going to use more colorful animals for my models. Now this is a really dark green iguana. I don't know exactly what kind it is, but the green is it's a beautiful color, but I think for my house that would be just a little bit too much. This red dart frog, that's something that I'm really strongly considering, because the red on the dragon, maybe with some spots, maybe not exactly the same way his spots are, but some, and with black accents in different places, that could be really nice. This blue dart frog, though, that could be a beautiful dragon, but for my house, that's just a little bit too saturated, too bright. I'm kind of more into milder colors. So it doesn't fit in my house, but it would make a beautiful dragon. I just don't think that I'm going to try one like that. The one that I'm really strongly considering is this Chinese water dragon. That would be not easy for me because I'm not used to painting greens and blues. I'm really more into fur colors, but it would really it would just make a really beautiful dragon. I'm not sure what color the horns would be. Like I said, I would make the long horns for the next one. I'm not sure how I would do that. And the other possibility is this bird. This is called a red-throated barbet. He's got beautiful colors. They're really strong colors, but I think the fact that there's different ones actually would make them fit into my house a little better. I don't know why that would be. Maybe because it would look really cool, kind of close to my blue-footed boobies or something. I don't know. When you're choosing the colors for your dragon, you have to kind of figure where you're going to put him, so it will kind of fit in with everything else in your house. My daughter gave me a really good suggestion for deciding which one to choose, actually, without starting and actually painting your dragon and figuring it out that way. That's kind of what I usually do. I just put the colors on. Do I like it? No. Repaint it and just keep doing it as long as it takes until I get something that looks the way I like it. But she said that there's actually an easier way to do it. I should have thought of that before I painted this guy, as a matter of fact. She said that since you're going to be putting some acrylic gesso, or like I use a latex primer on mine, there is a point right after the paper mache is dry and you put that gesso or primer on there, you're going to have a white dragon. And you can take a photograph of him right then, so it looks like this. Then either print it out on regular paper and get out your crayons or your colored pencils and just paint that really fastly. Just do a sketch so you can see, okay, do I like those colors? Where exactly am I going to put those colors? Like with the bird, for instance, I don't know if I would want that red spot right here. Maybe I would want to make the horns red, or maybe I would want to make the ears red. I don't really know, and I can't really see it until I've got the paint on there, so I could put the paint or the crayons or something on a piece of paper instead and look at it that way without going to all the trouble of painting him. Or, and this is a really cool idea, this my daughter said, her name's Jessie Rasche, by the way. She's a professional painter, so she has some really good ideas. She said that when you have that photograph of a white dragon, you can put it into a paint program that's on your computer. I happen to use Affinity Photo. It's just a really cheap version of Photoshop, basically. It does everything that I need it to do, but it costs way less money. And it will let you put a photograph in there, and then on more layers you can go ahead and use the paint part of it and paint any color you want to on top of that white dragon. And Jessie said that if you also bring in the photograph of the animal or bird that you're thinking of using as a model, you can use the color picker in that program to pick out exactly the colors that you're thinking about putting on your dragon. Then just go ahead and brush that color on. Or if you're just not quite sure how to mix the paint when you get ready to actually paint him, if you use the color picker, you get that big box that shows up. Like right here with the water dragon, a lot of the greens and blues are muted, they're grayed down, so exactly what color do they start out with. The big box that pops up when you use that color picker will show you what the base color is, and then you can see how much black or maybe dark brown and a whole bunch of white you need to add to that base color to get the gray that you're looking for. I think we could actually use that idea for a lot of different animals that we're painting, but definitely for the dragon, because this guy is totally made up and you can paint him absolutely any way you want to. Now, if you do happen to want to make a white dragon like this, probably most people won't, but just in case you do, I just painted him titanium white with a little tiny touch of yellow oxide to make the white a little bit warmer. I used gold craft paint mixed with golden glazing liquid to get the gold between his scales. You just brush it on and then wipe it off with a wet paper towel so that it leaves the scales white, but it leaves the gold in between them. I did exactly the same thing, but with silver paint on the front. And I painted his, the inside of his ears is a very dark gray. Then I painted it over with silver just to give it a little bit of a feathery look. And I wasn't quite sure I liked that, so I went back over it with some dark brown that I was actually using for the tip of his horn. I just wanted the tip to be just a little bit darker underneath the gold. The gold is a little bit transparent, so so it will end up looking dark even though it's painted gold. And back here, I actually wiped off some of the gold that was over the white part because I wanted the white behind that ear. I just thought it would look pretty nice. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I did it this way because it was fast. Now, once you get your dragon painted, no matter what paints you're using, you will want to varnish them just to protect that paint. Give it a day or two to cure and then varnish it. But if you have sparkly paints, put those on after the varnish is done. Like, I'm actually thinking of using this. It's a dragonfly glaze, but if I wanted to make something really shimmery, like maybe his horns, then I would put this on after the varnish, because the varnish would keep the little metallic bits in the paint from really giving it that shimmery look. So do that afterwards. I also suggest that I haven't done this yet, but you want to give his eyes a coat of clear fingernail polish. Maybe actually 2 coats, that would be even better. It would make it almost look like glass. As a matter of fact, I should mention, if you would like to actually hand paint glass eyes for your dragon, we do have a guest post on my website that shows you how. That would just be fantastic on this guy. Everybody who does it is going to do it differently. Even if you make a white dragon, you probably won't paint him the same way I did. I know that a lot of people are going to make really brilliant red or blue and green dragons. Some people are going to probably make black dragons. That would be just really cool. Black dragon with red eyes. And look for a photograph of a European viper. Wow, that would be nice. Every single dragon is going to come out different. Even if you had like a dragon making party and you had 5 or 6 people all using the same pattern, every single one of them is going to come out different. And I want to see them all. So please come back and post photographs of your dragon and some stories about why you made him on the Daily Sculptors page on my website. You can find a link to it at the very top of the site. It's really easy to find, and we want to see every single one of those dragons. I just can't wait to see how yours comes out. So come on back, visit me, ultimatepapermache.com. I'll see you there.